Hey guys, welcome to Let's Play Chrono Cross. Last time, all of the events in Viper Manor reached an epic conclusion as we had to jump for our lives. Sadly, Kid fell injured and poisoned by one of Lynx's daggers. On this path, Guile's path, I'm going to be choosing the Do Not Save Kid path. If you're looking for the Save Kid path, that'll be in the playlist in a few episodes here. We're just going to cover what parts of this path occur until the earliest point that we can sync back up with the other path. And then we're going to start up on the other path and show what happens if we decide to save Kid. Anyway, on this path, actually on both paths, you can talk to the element trader here and go to trade some of our elements. Now, I don't think we need to particularly save or trade anything. Well, we can do one of these. Sure, why not? Let's look at all the magma bombs I have. Let's get rid of a few of those. I don't need that many of them. And then, sure, some ointments. I'll get another screw. Why not? Get rid of some tablets, too. This is selling the elements that we have, so it's mostly consumables that I'm going to be selling, but I wouldn't recommend selling anything that you can't already buy more of. Good sirs, you're travelers, right? Although I hesitate to ask you, I have a favor to ask you. Receive this bone from a trader. I'd like you to set it adrift in the seas. Sure, its real owner would love to have it returned to nature. Sure. Take good care of it. The pelvic bone. Need guts to get through life. This is another piece of skelly. Favorite dish is Termina's famous squid. Why does everyone talk about this dish? Doesn't sound particularly appealing, but... Equipment is essential to protect yourself from danger. This guy is an equipment shop. Don't think we can forge anything new. Yeah, you can only forge up to copper here, with the one exception, the iron lure and the iron rang. These are new weapon types that we wouldn't have had access to at the smith in Termina there. So for some reason they give us access to them here. Anyway, we don't need to buy anything right now. That's fine. Our equipment is good enough. Let me rest a bit. Look strong. Only have the strength of an average human. Okay. The demi-humans in this village get along with humans. Many others of our kind still hold a grudge. Those that were driven off from the mainland gathered to build the village of Marbule. Or Marble. I'll probably end up calling it Marble the whole time, but Marbule, whatever. On the big island way down southeast of here. Now, if you remember, we heard about Korsha hanging out with a lot of demi-humans, and Guldove being a very backwards place. Well, that's the prejudice of some of the people of Termina, because this village contains both humans and demi-humans. Have you ever come across a shiny material? Dick move by the game of putting this NPC super early in the game. They should have given us access to this NPC way later in the game when we might actually remember what this is going to tell us. Elements are common items nowadays, but a special kind called summon elements. This kind releases awesome power based on one of the 6 attributes. Shiny material is the mysterious byproduct of this phenomenon. This material is essential for item and craftsmen to forge advanced weapons and accessories. Everything depends on skill craft. That will be very important to know for much, much, much later in the game. Population is lower compared to the past. Old customs might fade away with time. Looks like you can go that way, but you can't. This is the end of that. You come in here. We get a cutscene with the doctor. Apparently this guy's had not a lot of luck as a doctor. I don't know your past. Living bound by the past is a very painful thing. Running away isn't a sin. It accomplishes nothing. They redid Doc's portrait relatively well. It's very similar expression to what he had in the other one. It's that same kind of derpy expression. I don't think it's exactly it, but it's very close. Orla's seems almost generic and over-brightened compared to the original. I'll continue to... Anytime we come back and talk to her, I'll probably call her Orla, or Oralha, or whatever. But yeah, I guess it's supposed to be Oralha. But yeah, I end up missing a syllable. Oh well. You have the ability to heal. Everyone in the village recognizes that. Yeah, don't just give up. You gotta do something. Gotta try. Did you just throw a dart? I'm guessing that's what it is. It kind of sounded like that. So they won't let us go back in right now, but there will be a reason to head back in there before too long. Let's take a look over here real quick. Chief Diarrhea is, I'm guessing, is in prayer. You may not enter the shrine now. Come back a little later. Say, have you heard of the 6 dragons? In the world, there's supposedly 6 dragon gods. Great dragons descended from the heavens to seal away evil and promise eternal prosperity across the land. Part of an old song that's been passed down El Nido for a long time. Wonder what they look like. And in here, we have access to a new shop eventually, but I'll talk to some people first. Man of the sea, huh? Gotta be on your toes, whether you're on land or man in a ship. Pay attention to element placement. Basically, think about the terrain and attribute conditions. Yeah. Basically, use your brain when putting elements on it. It's not hard. If you're in a volcano, probably use some blue elements. If you're in a waterfall, probably use some red elements. Even though technically you would probably want to use lightning, but I digress. Far off eastern El Nido Sea, there is a village, Marbule, homeland to us demi-humans. My friends there hate humans. Heard that humans and demi-humans lived in harmony on the mainland. There was a time once where the mystics and humans did live together. And if I remember correctly, that was under the village chief was one of the imps at that point. Small village, but we have some rare elements, so let's take a look here. They have some of the basic stuff, all the level 2 stuff from before, but they now give us access to level 1 and 2 white and black elements. So we want to get up to 3 of each of them. There's no real point in getting any more than that because the elements aren't all that good. Now, Hell Soul is an interesting one because it just inflicts instant death and does no damage. And you'll notice there over in the top right, it's level 2, but it can't be placed on a different level. It has to be on level 2 because it's plus or minus 0. Other elements are usually plus or minus a certain number. Kind of see that there. The only other ones that are usually like this are some specialty elements late game, and then consumable elements usually have to be put at their exact level with no room for changing it. Hell Soul I don't find works often enough, and a lot of time I'm better off just doing damage, so I'm just going to do damage. But you do want to pick up enough meteorites and gravity blows that you have access to all these different elements, and can play around with that. How are we doing on all these things? More than enough of those. Alright. North of this village lies Earth Dragon Isle. Locals call the land where the dragon sleeps. A few years ago, the surface was covered in sand. Somehow the sand disappeared completely overnight. Did I miss it? Or is it up further? It's up further. Oh no, I found it. There is a secret entrance back here containing a feathery dress I don't think I've ever used. What do you say? Residential tower. Well, we don't really know what we're doing at this point. Let's climb up here. Anything up here? I don't remember. What are these wires for? Teach you for a special price. Interestingly enough here, this guy will either teach you for 5G or he'll charge you double the price to equal the same amount anyway. But yeah, we'll pay the 5G. It's not like it's a lot of money. Wire connects to the docks, and there's a second wire connected to the shrine. It's a shortcut to the docks. Basically, you just go on here, you clip on, and you warp down there instead of having to walk. It's a little faster. It's not anything magical or anything like that. But yeah, we got the explanation of how it works, which is important so that we can do it from the other side there. We can go down from there too, but first, let us go down here, and you'll see that there's a basement here too. There's Mel. Gotta concentrate, huh? You can go on the bunk bed, even though there's no reason to. Nice detail. It's what I know I've talked about it before, but the backgrounds in this game are phenomenal. There's so much detail. The world actually does look lived in if you pay attention to a lot of the background art, especially in a lot of these cities. Well, yeah, we don't really have a plan right now, but I'm kind of stuck here. If you paid attention, this is a water-bound city. It's not connected to any piece of land that we've been to before. So we kind of need to go back to the mainland. And by mainland, I mean the largest island here in El Nido. The mainland, the continent, we cannot get to. Go find someone else. Well... Oh, I was about to say we're shit out of luck, but I guess someone... Oh, you were here when I woke up. Apparently this is Korsha's mother. Yeah, why don't you give me a hand? These guys are no friends of mine. He's not wrong, it's like, why would you go out of your way to help someone who can't be bothered to, help someone else, especially when, from Korsha's perspective, Kid and Serge are close, even though we just met her. Oh, so you've changed your tune. Yeah, what happened to her? I'd like you to tell this old lady your story. They're relatively creative at not, having some different transitions to explain, to show when explanations happen. And it's nice to have that as opposed to, you know, them just retreading the same thing that just happened, even though it just happened and we really don't need to go over it again. Some games do that. It gets tedious. Helpless boy, aren't you? Well, we don't know what to do. Yeah, what's your plan? Can you find the Hydra humor that doesn't exist anymore? You don't have a plan either. Go help them out. Can't lend them my boat. Don't be such a miser. I don't know what a miser is. I didn't look that word up ahead of time. Just lend them a boat or two? You're worried about the boat? Tag along with them. Say a boat or two, but that's the only one I have. I don't know these guys from. Fine, I'll borrow the boat. You never stay put, so it's a good time for you to do your chores. Take care of Mel while you're at it. They call this place the residential tower, but Korsha later on will be in the room above. Korsha's mother is on this floor, and Mel is in the basement, and those are the only people that are ever in this house. Oh, God. Well, you've been semi-grounded there, bud. Anyway, what's your name? Sorry, I can't speak. Nice to meet you. My name's Matcha. Korsha's mother. Ma. This game is stupid. Be waiting at the docks. Call me when you're ready to leave the village. Well, nice. You should go see the shaman. Like you're lost. Might be able to help you get back on your path. Well, I don't have a path right now, so that's probably a good idea. But now, unique to the Don't Save Kid path, Matcha comes back here and gives us an item that, as far as I'm aware, is unique to this path. I haven't seen anywhere else that you're able to pick it up. The frame called Tropical Paradise. Now, from the little bit of research I did, I didn't go out of my way on researching frames because honestly I don't care. But I don't think this one is available if you do not take this path. So if it's particularly important to you to get this, you'll have to take the Do Not Save Kid path. So she's going to wait for us at the docks. Only lending you the boat because Ma said to. Well, can't really argue with your mom, eh? So let's go up here and we'll demonstrate this little thing. I like the callback of saying, do you want to become the wind? Nice Chrono Trigger reference. Even though this has nothing to do with anything like that, it's still nice. Now, Matcha is there, and we can talk to this guy. I never got a chance to. Partner's a demi-human. He's got no energy. He's worthless. Now, they say that the prejudice doesn't really exist over here, so I'm guessing he's just basically calling him lazy so that we can figure out, oh, he's talking about the one that has no energy that's sitting on the dock there. I don't think it's supposed to be derogatory at him. Well, that's a weird-looking thing on a hat over there. Let's talk to some people. Don't get much news of the main island out here. Judging from the season, I guess it's about time for the El Nido Festival to start. It hasn't rained around here for the longest time. Traders say water on Water Dragon Isle has dried up too. Okay, get yourself. The wind brings back memories. You're from the main island. You know the Hydra Marshes? It's a forest to the southeast. They're called the Hydra Marshes. No Hydras there anymore. Everyone left the forest after the Hydras died off. I too left the forest. You remember the first time we went there, they talked about there's Hydras and Dwarves in that forest. That would have been in Homeworld, not another world. But this is an example of a dwarf, at least in this game. Hi-ho! That is the greeting of the dwarves in this game. The plants in the marshes respond to sounds of this tinkler. It's no good to me anymore. I will give this to you. You must talk to him twice in order to get it. Plant will open up a path without you touching it. If you remember, there was plants that would whip us because it was too decayed or corrupted by poison. It's a small shop. Feel free to browse. Not to come behind the counter. Oh, you're an unfamiliar face. Yeah, so you're in the way. Don't be back there. I don't think you can talk to anyone from front anyway. Oh, I guess you can. But anyway, highly recommend you pick up that green tinkler. That will be important for later. Alright. So this is the Dragon Shrine, residence of our chief shaman, Diarrhea. Sure to act courteous on the premises. Well, they told us to go talk to the shaman, so let's go do that. There's the save point. Shrine Maiden. Welcome to the Dragon Shrine. Stina, shaman serving High Chief and High Priestess Diarrhea. Assume that you have come to the shrine seeking assistance. See how the portrait is. It's not much better. I missed the line that the Shrine Maiden says about Diarrhea being the High Priestess. And during the entirety of my first playthrough, I thought that this was a guy. I've talked about it in probably every Let's Play I've done where I've had issues trying to identify, which gender characters are because of, the lack of the animation or the pixels or whatever. It never ends. It's just impossible to tell anymore. But yeah, that's very accurate to the original portrait, but still difficult to make out. Though the sprite is a little more obvious in the sprite this time around. But yeah, this is the High Priestess and the Shaman of the village. Odd wind swirls around you. You are already dead in this world. Yeah, you can see we're not forced to listen to long, overdone cutscenes that just explain, what we already know. It's nice to not have to go through the same stuff multiple times. For a way to return to your original world, I do not know. Always reasons. The land of Genesis. Your only key may lie there. Key that connects your world to this one. It is, shall we say, a dimensional distortion. Sorts. Well, where exactly is this? As long as one is human, one will sometimes become lost. Pray that your journey will be blessed by the guidance of the 6 straight great dragon gods. Okay, you just repeat yourself at this point. There are islands named after dragons and numerous Dragonian ruins and artifacts. You may have encountered some already. Most famous of the islands are the Sky Dragon, the Earth Dragon Isle, and the Water Dragon. and then the ancient ruin Fort Dragonia that lies to the east. Many draconian ruins, Fort Dragonia is one of the few that is still fully functional. Key to activate this ruin is the Dragon Tear. It's given to our ancestors by the extinct Dragonians, a symbol of friendship. Been passed down through successive shamans, but it was stolen and taken away from Guldove by an unknown interloper. Their intent is unknown, but if they plan to activate the ancient ruin, a great disaster shall come about. People have been searching for it. We have found no trace. Thought there was a list of things that we... Oh yeah, here we go. I knew there was... someone said something about that. The Land of Genesis. You don't know where it is. Helpful? All phenomena have their reasons. Feel there is some other will acting behind this. Something other than the fact that you are dead and in this world. So that tells me nothing helpful. Dragon Tear, a one-of-a-kind orb our ancestors received from the now extinct Draconians. Traditionally, it's passed down through each successive shaman, but someone has taken it away from Guldove. Draconian ruins. Buildings and sculptures built by Draconians can still be found in Almeida today. Most of them have withered away, and only a small portion of them remain intact. The only complete one is Fort Dragonia. It stands at the peak of Mount Pyre. As you may well know, the natural world is composed of a balance of 6 elements: white, black, red, blue, green, yellow. One pairs with another to maintain balances which the natural world designed. The gods that represent each element are called dragon gods. Since they symbolize the powers of nature, they are also commonly referred to as the gods of nature. The sun is white, shadow is black. Flame red, water blue. Green, the leaves of the forest and the blowing winds, and yellow, the forces of Mother Earth. Frozen flame. Something we have not heard of in these parts. There is something about flames in the oral lore of our tribe. Be very careful when you stare into the flame, for the flame will stare back. It will either transform you into a different being or burn you to ashes. It's an old poem of El Nido. It's a phrase that refers to the evil sealed away by the 6 dragons. It's a phrase following after it, an evil flame that sought to engulf the world. This refers to the frozen flame. It should not be in the hands of humans. The truth of the story is unknown. And Divine Dragon Falls. About 100 years ago, before immigrants from the mainland came to Almeida. The now extinct Draconians, demi-humans, and our ancestors lived on the main island and not on the outlying islands. Time when dragon worship was still common. Humans and demi-humans lived together in the same community. A little hard to imagine today, except for apparently here in Guldove. Planet's power collects at certain points on the main island. One such point is the Divine Dragon Falls. Name has been all but forgotten on the main island, hence why it was invisible when we walked up to it the first time. Our tribe and the demi-humans are the only ones that know this name. Well, there's a little bit of background lore. Anyway, that's pretty much all the time we have for today. Next time, we are going to, I guess, continue on this path. I have a little bit more to do on this path and probably one more episode, and then we will be able to get back to what happened on the other path, where we'll take Nikki's path through pretty much everything that's involved in saving Kid, or the Save Kid path anyway. But yeah, that's all for this one, and I'll See you guys next time.